Hey guys, so welcome back to part 2. In part 1 we see how to install the flying wheels, so like these ones. But now we're gonna see how to install a completely flywheel set. So here I have one set with me. Let me open the box. Look at that. We will have a full set of all the stuff which we will need to set up. So let's start to disassemble and install this and show you how to do that. So let's start now. Okay, so let's put the box here with all the stuff we have. So we have all the stuff we need to flywheels. Here to set them up. And to install the wires later to make them work. And later to install for the gun. So let's start with disassembling. Okay, so what we do first is we're going to take out the old flywheel set. So let's take that out. Okay, let's take it out. And we will have take out this as well, because later we need to cut the wires. So let's take this out as well. Okay. Make sure you keep all the stuff for this, because later you need to reinstall this. Okay, so here let's take out everything else. So this part needs to take out. We're gonna disinstall this part. Oh, we're gonna use another screwdriver to take out this. Okay, make also sure you keep all these good. Later you need to reassemble it. Oh, this one is again with a small one. So. That. Okay. Take this out. And the same we will do with this. Okay. And we can take out this one, because later we also need to change it. Okay, so let's take this all out, all the wires. Let's cut the wires. Where's mine? Okay. We'll take out this part too. Go, and you can cut the wire also here. Okay, then the last one we need to open here and also take out the wires. Okay, here we can also take this out. So the old one, it's all out, so that's great. So this one we can already put back, because we will not directly need it again. So you can close it, and then you also don't have to risk to lose it. So put that one back. Sorry. Okay, so that we took it out, so we don't need it anymore. We can put it aside for now, and we can go focus on our new one. So we have all the stuff here, and let's start to install the little motors. So there's a small red button here at the back. If you put the first one, the red side, to the front, Then the second one, the red side, needs to be the other side. So you need to face to you. Make sure you do this good, because if you both the reds point to the same side, it's not going to work. So make sure that one red point goes to forward and one red point to backwards. So that's important to know. Okay, once you make sure that's okay, you can take the small screws. So let's take that out from here and tie them up. So make sure we don't lose anything. Okay, so let's take the small screws and tighten that up. Oh. Okay. Make sure it's really tight, that's important. And the second one. Okay, perfect, nice and tight. Okay, that's done. But here we have some protection here, which we should not keep inside because it will not fit if you keep it like this. So it's important to cut these parts out. We have 4 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4. These 4 parts have to be cut out. So that's important. So take your little cutter and let's do that first. Okay guys, so I cut all clean, as you can see. It's important to do that, so that's perfect. And now we can go on to the next step, which is we're gonna wire. So that's an important step now. So let's now have a look at the flywheel itself and how to install the wires. So we have 2 wires. One is the red one for the positive, one is the black one for the negative. So make sure that the shotgun outside is this side. And then this must be the side you put the red wire. And then the other side you put the black one, like this. And then later we have in the middle and we can put the wires this way to install them. So to do that, we're gonna cut a little bit of the wire here. Just a little bit, make sure you don't cut the wire itself. Okay. And then you also cut a little bit in the middle, just cut. Okay, so like this, and then it will look like this. Okay, so once we did this, it's time to do some soldering, to solder the wires. So let's start to do some pre-soldering. So I got my soldering iron here. You need some solder iron and the wire. So let's start to do some pre-soldering. So make sure it's hot, so that's important of course. Okay, that's the first one. So let's do the second one. That's the second one. Third one and the last one. Okay, so that has been pre-soldered. So let's also pre-solder this area because later we need to install this wire. So let's take a little bit fresh solder. And let's put that on this area. Okay, so now we did the pre-soldering, so let's solder the wires. Okay, so make sure you solder them well to each other. Okay, and then the other one. Okay, then put some pre-solder for the middle one. So pre-solder that. Okay, good. And then you take the wire from the same color and then solder that in the middle. So you take the wire and solder that. And then the other color you also take, just do exactly the same. Okay, and then your wiring and your soldering is done for this part. Okay guys, so the soldering for this part is done. So now we're gonna install the flying wheels to the part. So take something that don't damage your table, turn it around like this, and then we're gonna push them in. So it takes some force. So take two hands and push. Okay, that's the first one in. Take the second one and you do exactly the same. It will take some force to push them in. Push. Okay, perfect. So they're both inside now, and make sure you push them till the end. And then you make sure they are on the right position. So you can check here, and then you can see if they're on the right position to each other. So that's important to have a check. So this one, they are perfect now, as you can see. So now we make sure they're on the right position. It's time to put them inside the frame. Okay, so take the frame, NERF gun, and make sure this side is in front. And we're gonna install that inside here. Okay, good. Put the wires around this side. Okay, and then use the screws we also took before to make it tight again. Okay, so now we installed that. So now make sure that here you hide the wires well. So you're gonna put this part we used before over the wires and close that. Okay. And this one close. So that's important. It will protect your wires. Okay, so now we're gonna solder the part. So let's take the soldering iron and the wire. Okay, let's start to solder, pre-solder. That's important. So there are 3 parts to pre-solder. So that's the second part. Okay. Make sure you pre-solder enough, because then it will make it easier to solder later. Okay, now the pre-soldering is done, so now we can attach the wires. So this is the negative wire. And make sure it's, and then we have another extra wire. So let's pre-solder it first. Okay, and then attach to the second place we and this wire goes to this side, and then the second wire so first the place where the switch will, we need to cut off some parts, otherwise the switch will not fit, so cut off these two parts, that's important. So let's cut them off. Okay, almost. Okay, that's done. And there we can place the switch. So on the other side, and put that this way. And then we use the place where we just cut, we can still use it for install the switch with the screw. So you need to check well where the screw needs and make sure you put that very tight. Okay, make sure it's tight. Okay, perfect, that's done. Okay, so now we need to pre-solder the switch because we need the two red wires to connect to the switch. So let's first do some pre-soldering. Okay, that's the first one. There are three parts. It doesn't matter which two you pre-solder, so just choose the two you want. And also it doesn't matter which red wire to which part, so just solder like you think it's best. So that's the first one. And this is the second one. So these two also to each other. Okay, so most important part of the soldering is done. Now we need to close the part where the switch is. So for that we will use this one, this little piece. But to fit this part, we need to cut this part off. So we will take our cutter again and let's cut that piece off. Let's cut it a little bit more tight. Okay, and it will be like this. So then we can install it here. There are two small holes. And just put it inside. Make sure it's tight. Okay. Make sure it's tight like this. And then you can use the solder to make sure it's tight enough. Oh, that's very much. Okay. Okay, and then you are sure it will keep in place. So that's how we do that. Okay guys, now we did this part. So now we're going to install the gun tip. So here we have the gun head. But there are two kinds. Some, it will not fit through, as you can see. So then you will need to use this machine and make the hole bigger by yourself. But in this case, we already have one which can fit. So let's install that one. So let's put it in here. And then you install the tip like this. You push it through and make sure there's no gap. That's the most important to remember. Okay guys, so make sure you install all back. So let's now put the battery inside and see how it works. Yeah, that seems to be working. Okay, so we have a bullet. So let's try out this bad boy. Let's go. Wow. Did you see that speed? I don't even know where's the bullet anymore. Okay guys, so this one is now fully assembled. It's the same as this one, but there's another flywheel I want to show you, which is this one. And what's special about this one is if you fly out, it will turn like a spiral, as you can see here. It will spiral around. So that's super cool. This one is exactly the same, can be installed as this one as we saw before. We have the wires. Just install the wires from this side onto this and then you can just use it like this. So that's super cool and lovely. So what I also want to tell you is this one can also be replaced with the ones we showed you before. The other flywheels, this one and the white one. So you can have many different styles as you like to your wishings. So I hope you find this video interesting and I hope you learn how to install all this stuff. And if you want more information, of course, you can find the link below. And we hope to see you in the next video and have fun with your NERF gun. See you, bye bye. In the next video we will test the Nerf guns outside to see how it performs.